Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I want to ask you a question. And I know it's going to surprise many of you. But how do you know if you have type 3 diabetes? Are you able to tell? I know some of you are like, what is type 3? I mean, I've heard of type 1. I've heard of type 2 diabetes. And then very, very few of you may even say you've heard of type 3C. Which is something like totally to the left. I won't jump into type 3C in this episode. I'll just stick with type 3 diabetes. Now, many of you would know what this is if you were seeing an acupuncturist for regular wellness visits and you've been diagnosed with it or are presenting with symptoms of it. Now, it wouldn't be called type 3 diabetes in acupuncture terms, but it would have a lot to do with Shao Ke, which is a pseudo term or a term used to reference diabetes in the world of acupuncture. But you see, type 3 diabetes is basically related to insulin resistance in the brain. Now, I know, when it comes to type 2 diabetes, it's basically being diagnosed as insulin resistant in general. But type 3 diabetes is, in accordance to biomedicine, to be seen as insulin resistance of the brain. And this is where the brain's neurons are lacking. As a result, it's lacking glucose, which is needed for its proper function. Upwards of, let's say, in the ballpark of 70% of the glucose in which we ingest is used by the brain. So now, when the neurons in the brain are lacking glucose, guess what it can lead to symptoms of? It can lead to symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Now, to date, type 3 diabetes is not yet recognized as a health condition, but from what I'm gathering and hearing in the medical industry, and from many of my colleagues, it's headed that way. Because they're looking to term Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes, because of its strong links with insulin resistance. And insulin resistance overall is a leading cause of dementia. In this case, glucose deficiency in the brain can lead to symptoms such as, let's say, loss of memory. It can affect your reasoning skills, can lead to decreased judgment. You see, insulin resistance and decreased insulin signaling in the brain can play a role in the development of Alzheimer's disease. And this is something many individuals are unaware of globally. And this is why I say so much. Along with seeing a physician on an annual basis, you should make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. Because here's yet another condition you may not have to worry about. Now, when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease is strongly connected to those who have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Again, it's important to make acupuncture a part of your life. You see, diabetes is strongly linked to declining brain health, and most individuals want to focus on treatments that restore cerebral insulin function, which is beneficial to those who are suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Although not fully recognized as a health condition to date, it is stated that type 3 diabetes causes cognitive decline in its patients. And basically, just like Alzheimer's is basically a degenerative brain disease that represents the larger part of cases of dementia. And it's characterized by, let's say, memory loss, with an emphasis on short-term memory loss, changes in behavior, cognitive decline, which gets worse over a period of time. You see, you have to understand, and I've said this a million times already, health is wealth. That's what wealth is. The wealth isn't in an app on your phone or a cryptocurrency account. The wealth is not in a bank, nor is it in a tank. A safe. Wow, I need my green tea today, guys. It's not in a safe. The wealth, it's not in your pocket. It's not in your wallet, nor is it in your purse. The wealth isn't under your mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet, nor is it under the doghouse in the backyard. The wealth is in you. And this is why you should make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. Because, you see, when it comes to type 3 diabetes, although it's not recognized as a health condition yet, you have some healthcare practitioners that use it for diagnostic purposes. And you see, type 3 diabetes differs from type 1 diabetes, which is considered autoimmune, as well as and type 2 diabetes, which cause blood sugar levels to become too high due to issues with insulin. It's all about you living as healthy and happy of a lifestyle as possible. And this is why tens of thousands of individuals on a daily basis are turning to acupuncture. Many of you do not regret having done so. But now, when it comes to type 3 diabetes, or even, let's say, Alzheimer's disease, right? I know some of you are going to want to know, Like, what are the early to moderate symptoms of Alzheimer's? They can be agitation, anxiety, memory loss, lack of judgment, confusion, problems with reading and writing numbers, disorganized thoughts, difficulty recognizing friends and family, lack of impulse control. It goes on and on. I mean, but those are some of the early to approaching mid-stage symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. I mean, it could develop to a point where you can no longer swallow, you lose control of bowel movement, and then you die. Most individuals with Alzheimer's disease tend to die from aspiration pneumonia. And that's usually when foods or liquids enter a person's lungs instead of air. And that's as a result of having problems with swallowing. And this is why, again, I say see your physician on an annual basis, because when they do complete blood count, they can pick this up. This can be detected in your blood work. At that point, your physician should send you for more tests, such as brain imaging, neuropsychological testing, and so forth. But just think, seeing a physician on an annual basis, making regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist, a lot of this you wouldn't have to worry about. And, you know, these things can be caught early and addressed right away. And so many individuals are learning this by the day. So many. But I know some of you are going to inquire as to what is type 3C diabetes, which is more or less along the lines of pancreatogenic diabetes, which tends to develop when a person's pancreas just totally stops. Well, not totally, but their pancreas stops producing enough insulin. And this will usually happen due to an illness or a condition that damages a person's pancreas. Or if you've had surgery and your pancreas was removed. There's also a type 3B diabetes, type 4 diabetes. You know, type 5 diabetes. One day I should just do a podcast on the various types of diabetes. And I know some of you are asking, like, what, type 5? Type 5? Yeah, it's a form of diabetes that's generally caused by a mutation a mutation of a single gene. And this mutation tends to cause pancreatic beta cells to function abnormally. There's type 6 diabetes. Which is a form of maturity onset diabetes of young people. I mean, but one day, you know, I'll put this into admin. I'll just cover all types of diabetes out there. Expect that in the future. I know many individuals that are listening to this podcast globally are going to ask that I expand on the various types, and I will. I mean, I could sit here for hours right now and do it, but, I just wanted to focus on type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance of the brain, how it correlates with being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and the fact that it's not like a common condition yet, or diagnoses. But just wanted to pull your coattail to that, because I just so happened to be in a message session with someone over the Acupuncture's My Life app from Canada. And I thought, next podcast I'll discuss type 3 diabetes, because many individuals globally are unaware of this. But if you don't already have the app, download the app. There's so many benefits to owning that app. And as you do that, simply just make acupuncture part of your life. Okay? Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?